Can Terrastal Pokemon really be that bad? Today we find out. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our Scarlet and Violet base set deck coverage. So we are still building towards our 8-pod bracket, showcasing the best of the new. And we've covered in previous videos Miraidon, we've covered Gardevoir, we've covered Ampharos, we've covered Spidops, and we've covered Oinkalogne at this point. So if you haven't seen any of those videos, be sure to check the description, check the channel. We've covered them. Let me know what you think of those as well. We are pushing forward with Arcanine today. If you like the content, be sure to drop a like, comment below, sub to the channel. There will be plenty of Scarlet and Violet content, and we're going to look at giveaways as the set gets a little closer. With that said, let's dive right in. So first thing we're getting out of the way, because I am always guilty of forgetting, we are playing 11 fire energy in the deck. Just get that out of the way right now. A lot of the decks will play higher energy counts because you want to see them, and there's less recovery in format. So rather than get too techy, just play a heavier count. And first Pokemon on the list is Growlithe. So this one comes from Fusion Strike. Let's pop you over to the side there, buddy. And it's here for one attack. Warm up. Search your deck for fire energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. Then you shuffle your deck. So realistically, it's a thinning option going second. We know Growlithe will not survive the turn in the active. There's way too many options to knock it out. But in the rare instance that it does survive, it's double value. So it's there for that reason. But the starter of our deck, the Terrastal fire type Arcanine န့X. So Terrastals are also another type of EX. I'm going to pop it on the screen there. And they resemble ancient trait Pokemon, which actually go back before my time in the TCG, which I think is pretty cool. It is a trait, not an ability, so it does not get shut off by Path of the Peak. And currently, Arcanine's Terrastal trait is that it has bench barrier. So as long as it's on your bench, it takes no damage. Kind of lackluster, but I think that there's room for that to improve. You know, as sets go, this is always the base set. They're usually pretty kind to us when we're starting off. But what does it do? Why is it in the deck? Why do we build around it? So it's a fire type, 280 hit points with a first attack, Raging Claws. 2 fire energy, does 30 plus 10 for each damage on this Pokemon. It's an outrage attack. It's Reshiram and Charizard GX. It's the old Reshiram or Zekrom from the early days. Those hit me, I hit you back attacks. Very, very nice. 280 hit points is a lot of damage that you can hypothetically take in. Damage cap is coming down. So there will be instances where, unless you're being hit for weakness or a deck that's very strategically built for one-hit KOs, this can survive that and then just funnel it back at them. So that's very, very good. And the second attack that's on here, this is our tempo attack. Oh, not tempo. Don't like that word. This is our early beat stick attack. For 3 fire energy, Bright Flame does 250 and then discards 2 energy. Would have liked if it said discard 1 energy, but I get where they're coming from. It's a balancing thing. We're not going to hang on to that too much. So this is our early stages Pokemon. And then we are jumping in with 3 Zorua and 3 Zoroark. So you must know where this is going if you checked the previous video. So once during your turn, you can choose a stage 1 Pokemon from your discard pile except a Zoroark. If you do, discard this Pokemon and anything attached, and then put that Pokemon in its place. So we're playing Zoroark because it allows us to cheat our copies, so it's active on the bench recovery. There's a few recovery options in format, and I'm not really a fan. So when you use your supporter for recovery, i.e. Miriam or Clara, pop those on the screen there, sometimes there's a chance that you don't get to use them right away, like Zoroark. It's on the bench, it's ready, it can transform when you need it. Arcanine is a stage 1. It's a little more active. It does take up a bench space, but I think it's worthwhile including. And then we're playing 1 copy of Charcadet. So we went with the 60 hit point one. There is a 70 hit point one in format. For the first attack, 30 and discard an energy from this Pokemon. But we are playing it with the new Armor Rouge for its Fire Alarm ability. Don't worry about the attack. It's a 2 retreater. It's the ability. As often as you like, you can move a fire energy from one of your benched Pokemon to your active Pokemon. We are playing one of the Charcadet and not trying to cheat it exclusively off Zoroark because it's the Pokemon we need on our bench. We are getting a little greedy with our counts and going 1-2 because Zoroark can also turn into it, but we need it on our bench. It's part of our initial game plan. It's part of the strategy. So the early stages, we set up a Charcadet. That's probably the first thing we look to set up, and then everything else gets built off the back of that. We are also playing one of the new Varoom We went with the 60 hit point one, or one retreat. If your opponent's playing the new Beach Court, then we can use it for free. Reverum. So this is our draw engine. I went back and forth between this and Barrel, but I just found that discarding an energy is very good in a deck that wants to save its discard for its Pokemon. So once during your turn, discard an energy from your hand, draw until you have 6 cards in hand. So it's a little more powerful than, say, concealed cards on a Radiant Greninja. It's a little more powerful than Barrel. So we just kind of included it here. We are discarding a lot of stuff, and I figure we'll get a lot of utility out of it. So we are playing 3 stage 1s that can be morphed off of Phantom Transformation. These are flex spots. You can put in anything that you see fit or anything that tailors to your play style by all means. We're playing first up, Flabble. So it's here for Acidic Mucus. So we have an issue with damage cap. So right now our deck caps at 250. Acidic Mucus, if they have a full bench of abilities, hits for 300 because it hits 50 for every ability your opponent has in play. So Flapple lets us get up there for 1 energy. It's kind of just a return energy KO, so it's not too bad. We do deal with Gardevoir in this bracket. So Mightyena provides a little more value than just, say, slapping a Drapion and calling it a day. So if there's a VMAX Pokemon in play, so yes, when we do introduce Mew, this will be relevant, this Pokemon attacks for free. But for 3 energy, it does 160. So when it hits into a Gardevoir, it knocks it out. And we do have ways with Magma Basin and Fire Alarm and Attachment for Turn, and if there's at least 1 more energy on the board, we can set up the Mightyena. So that's not too bad, and we can reuse it with Phantom Transformation. And lastly, if we ever fall behind in the prize race and need a way to catch up, we have Slowbro. So Twilight Inspiration. I did say Aspiration. I am sorry. You can use this if your opponent has 1 prize remaining. Take 2 prizes. So we can play the catch-up game. Usually in a 1 prize race, once they get to a certain point, you can't catch up, and then it's kind of over, boo-hoo, like sucks to suck. But Slowbro allows us to catch up if we have to go second on the first turn of the game. And we are obviously playing Radiant Charizard. Absolutely fits right in with what we're doing here. So it is a 250 attacking 1 prize Pokemon. So as your opponent takes more prizes, its attack cost gets cheaper. You can also put in Radiant Greninja, but with Reverum, I figured Radiant Charizard allows us another option to attack with. So we can cycle between Arcanines and Charizards and just call it a day. So jumping right in, we're going to take a look at our supporter line. So we are going to play 4 copies of Professor's Research. So it's very hard to argue against this card. Discard your hand, draw 7 is the most powerful supporter in the game by a mile, not even close. So it also tailors into what we want to do with the deck, tossing pieces away. So it's very, very good in that aspect. And then we are playing 3 copies of Serena because it is a multi-use supporter. Back in the day, we had Tate and Liza. This is in here for its flexibility. I did enjoy that. I did enjoy the tag team supporters because they had 2 effects. So discard up to 3 cards from your hand and then draw until you have 5 cards in hand. So that's pretty much the main reason it's in here. It's discard synergy. We lose Quick Ball. It hurts losing Quick Ball. But it also lets us chase benched Pokemon V because it's a boss's orders for V Pokemon. So our deck has a very strategic damage cap, 250, kind of sucks, whatever. Right? Serena can chase the Pokemon V your opponent puts in play if they're playing basics, if they're playing Zacians, if they're playing Leafeons and Oko, no matter what. We're chasing the little stuff. We're playing 2 copies of Zinnia. So this one here is more of an experimenting card. So discard 2 cards from your hand and then draw a card for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play. Sometimes they only have 2 and it's bad. So it's a 2 for 2. It's a 0. Sometimes they have a full 6 and then you really get some value out of it. But again, it's just discard because we lose Quick Ball. If we had Quick Ball, it could be anything you want. Then we are playing 2 copies of Boss's Orders. So switch your opponent's active with their bench. You get to pick 1. So we're chasing things. We're chasing the fish. We're chasing, whatever they can put out there, and we're going to deal with it. Anything that's 250 or less, we're going to knock that shit out. Yeah, you can up your counts if you'd like. I totally get that. Right now, we are playing 2 copies of Raihan. These are also open for debate. I'm not going to sit here and tell you yes, no. I like Raihan because it lets you search a puzzle piece you're missing, lets you attach an energy for board. You can go Raihan, put an energy on board, grab a Magma Basin, which is a 2nd energy, and then you can attach from hand. That's 3 energy. So literally everything in the deck attacks with Raihan. If you want to put in Choice Belt, or you want to put in the Comeback Belt, oh god, it's not Vitality Band. If you want to put back the Comeback one to do an additional 30 damage to bring you up to 280, I get that too. If you want to put something that just cleans up or spreads damage, you can also do that as well. The stage 1s and Raihan are my flexible slots in the deck. And then, just to keep things going, we are playing 3 copies of... Mentioned it so much, I figured I'd pop it on screen finally. We are playing 3 copies of Magma Basin. So, once during your turn, you may attach a basic fire energy from your discard pile to one of your benched fire Pokemon. If you do, they take 2 damage. So this is typically going to be for Armarouge. Rare instances, it'll be Arcanine or Charizard. But we have plenty of targets to put it on. Basin, Armarouge, move it to the active, attack. It's our means of energy acceleration. So very, very good in that sense. We are playing 2 copies of Switch. So just move your Pokemon around. Switch your active with one of your bench. Everything in the deck is 2 retreat. We do miss Air Balloon. All of them are stage 1, so we can't use Beach Cords. So, you know, we're going that route. And then we are playing 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Search for any Pokemon. Very, very good. So it grabs everything, it discards everything, it plays in with the deck. 4 copies of Level Ball. So search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 hit points or less, reveal it, put it into your hand. So it grabs Growlithe, Zaruas, Charcadet, Varooms, and the reason why I play it over Nest Ball is it also grabs Flapple. There's also a few stage 1s that I did not include today that you can very much add to the deck, and Level Ball will help you grab them, so you can discard them. So Level Ball just has a slight more advantage over Nest Ball in this deck. And of course, we are playing. I am not sold on this one, but again, we are trying some things because we need those explosive starts. Battle VIP Pass. So you can use it only during the first turn of the game. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Shuffle your deck. So we typically want to see Charcadet, Varoom, and at least 1 Zorua or 1 Growlithe to start the game. And then we can figure it out. So we need 3 basics on our board to start every game. So VIP Pass is that high roll, high risk reward card. We have Serenas, Zinnias, and Researches to get rid of them. We have Ultra Balls to get rid of them. So they're in here after that first turn. I'm not too worried about it. As long as you see 1 Ultra Ball, you can discard the rest of them. My thoughts early. If you want to put in additional attackers, if you do not like the set damage cap, by all means. If you would like to include Entei V, Weirdeer V, reduce your fire count a little, and then add maybe 2 or 3 lightning energy, and throw in a Raikou V to put in, or you can put in Suicune. The Rondo Pokemon are terrific in this deck, so do that as you will. I wouldn't overcommit with Arcanine. The game plan is Arcanine early, Radiant Charizard cleanup, Flapple, Mightyena, Slowbro where they fit. Sometimes they don't fit and they just sit in the discard pile. That's okay. They were just most useful out of stage 1s I was looking at. If you enjoyed the list, let me know in the comments below. What would you change? What do you think? Where does Arcanine rank at the end of the day for you in the new EXs and, you know, overall metagame? And until next time, guys, take care.